gonna explain you how you can create the Visual Studio .NET build in TeamCity. So I have opened the TeamCity over here, and I have also created one Visual Studio build configuration. As you can see, this is a .NET build, and I'm gonna explain you how I created that one. So I clicked on that, and then I'm gonna click on edit project settings. This will open the project overview page, and from here you can click on edit configuration settings, which will take you to the this build's configuration settings, and from there I'll explain you what all steps are required to set up the .NET project in this TeamCity. So as you can see in the general settings, these are very common settings which apply to all the builds in TeamCity. So the next important setting is version control settings. So from here, in here you have to give the repository of your .NET project. So I have stored my project in GitHub, and this is the URL, GitHub URL of that particular repository. So I have attached that using this button, attach VCS root, and then you have to follow the instructions to add that particular Git repository. You might have to give the authentication details as well, like user ID, password, or you can also give the private key, public key, etc. as well. And the next important setting is build steps. So for the .NET project, you need different build steps like MS build, Visual Studio tests. So MS build step is required to build the project, .NET project. It needs the solution file as the input, and then it produces the DLLs out of that using MS build. And once the build is created, the DLL is created, Visual Studio tests runner is used to run the tests using MS test engine. So if you go to the build step by clicking on add build step, you will find that you will be able to choose those runners, like MS build is over here, and I'm gonna explain you like what settings are required for MS build. All it needs is the solution file of your .NET project. So as you can see here, it is asking for the build file path, which is a solution file, and which you can give. And if I go back, there is another step like Visual Studio tests. So if you click on add build step, you will have to select Visual Studio tests runner, and it is over here, Visual Studio tests. And you can use either of the two engines, MS test or VS test, to run the tests from the DLL file. So I use VS test, and here you can give the test file names, but if you want to run all the tests, you can keep it empty and then click on save. So it will run the tests from the build the project and test the execute the tests from the project with these two steps. So I'm gonna run this build, and let us see how it runs. So if I go to the agent, it will show me what it is doing. That is, it's building this project, VS test project, repository project. And if I click on this running, it will show me all the build logs. Like first of all, it will check out the repository or the source code of the .NET project. Like in this step, it is server side checkout. It is actually checking out from here. So as you can see, from this repository it has checked out that particular source code, and then next step is like, as you can see, this is showing the steps 1 of 2. That means this build has 2 steps. First is MS build, which is running right now, and after this MS build is finished, second step will be executed shortly. So as you can see, steps 2 is started now, Visual Studio tests, and it will execute the tests. As you can see, it is using this DLL file. So notice that we have given this file path in this step, Visual Studio tests. If I go to the edit configuration settings, you will find that. So that's the important setting. Like included assemblies, like the name of the file that you want to execute. Unit test project slash bid slash debug slash unit test project 1.dll. So you have to give the DLL path. From here it should find the tests and execute them. So that's how you can set up the .NET project in TeamCity. And if you go to the build steps and create a build step, add a build step, you will find more .NET runners like .NET process runner, then duplicate finder for the .NET, inspections for the .NET. That also you can set up to find out the duplicates or find out all the code issues in your project. And mspec, Visual Studio Solutions, Visual Studio 2003. So all these are some of the runners that you can use in your .NET projects in TeamCity. If you like this video, hit like button.